Okay, so if you're an IB student, you know the feeling, right? English commentaries, TOK essays, history papers, it feels like the writing never ever stops and the pressure is always on. Well, today we're going to tackle that head on.
And be honest, do you get that little pit in your stomach when a new essay gets assigned? Do you just stare at that blinking cursor on a blank page wondering, how am I ever going to fill this? Trust me, you are not alone. But what if I told you there's a much better way?
And this is the whole secret right here. This isn't about being born some kind of good writer. It's about having a smart plan. And the best part? A strategy is something absolutely anyone can learn. We're going to shift our focus from feeling anxious to taking action. So let's dive right in and bust this myth wide open. This whole idea that some people just have it and others don't. It's just not true. In the next few minutes, we're going to walk through 5 super concrete strategies that will completely change how you approach every single IB essay from now on. First up, and listen, this might be the most important tip of them all, you have to build your blueprint before you lay a single brick. So many students try to write their way into an argument, but the pros, they know you have to plan your argument before you even think about writing. This kind of redefines what writing even is, doesn't it? It's not about finding fancy words or complex sentences. It's simply the end result of organizing your thoughts in a logical way. If your thinking is messy, your writing is going to be messy. It's that simple. But if your thinking is crystal clear, the writing just follows. So, what's the tool for this? The humble bullet point plan. Seriously, before you write a single full sentence, map it all out. What's your core thesis? What are your, say, 3 main arguments to back it up? Is there a counterpoint you should address? And how are you going to wrap it all up? If you can answer these in simple bullet points, the essay practically writes itself. Okay, so you've got your structure down. Now, you need to make sure you're actually playing the game correctly. Because let's face it, the IB exam isn't just a test of what you know, it's a test of how well you follow the instructions. Have you ever really thought about that first word in your essay prompt? You know the ones, words like discuss, evaluate, compare, or analyze. They might all sound kind of similar, but they are asking you to do completely different things. And let's be super clear here. These are not suggestions. They're direct instructions from the examiner, telling you exactly what you need to do to get the top marks. If a question asks you to evaluate something, but all you do is describe it, you've missed the entire point, and you've just left a ton of points on the table. Right, you've got your structure, and you understand the command term. The next key ingredient for a top-tier essay is using powerful, relevant examples. This is where you go from just telling the examiner what you know to showing them you actually understand it. And what's cool is that examples do different jobs in different subjects. In theory of knowledge, a good example proves you can apply some abstract concept. For economics or history, it connects the theory to the real world. But in every single subject, a strong example is what separates simple memorization from true high-level analysis. Let me break this down. A weak example is just dropping a fact you memorized, like stating a historical date and moving on. A strong example takes that same date and explains why it's significant, how it supports your main thesis, and what it reveals about the bigger picture. It's the analysis, not the fact itself, that earns you the marks. All right, on to our final set of tips. We've covered the planning and understanding the rules. Now let's talk about how to build that actual writing muscle over time and turn it from something you dread into a consistent, easy habit. So what's up with this number? This is your new secret weapon. It's called microwriting. I mean, the thought of writing a full 1,500-word essay can be totally paralyzing, right? But 200 words? That's just a couple of paragraphs. Anyone can do that. It takes all the pressure off. Look, the goal here isn't to write a perfect mini essay. Not at all. It's just to get your thoughts flowing and build that muscle memory. If you practice writing just a small 200-word reflection on a topic each week, you make writing a regular, low-stress activity. And over time, that fluency, that comfort, will translate directly to your longer assignments. And our final tip is all about feedback. This one's a game changer. When you show a draft to a teacher or even a friend, don't ask, "Is this good?" That question just invites a simple yes or no. Instead, you have to ask, "Is this clear? Where does this get confusing?" This is why getting feedback early is so incredibly powerful. It's not about getting validation or praise. It's about diagnosis.
Finding your weak spots and your unclear arguments before the final deadline is the absolute fastest way to improve not just your writing, but the clarity of your thinking itself.
So let's bring this all together. We started this off talking about that anxiety that comes with essay writing. But with these strategies, you can really shift your mindset from feeling totally overwhelmed to feeling prepared, in control, and ready to go. And here it is, your 5-point plan for every IB essay you write. Number 1, structure first with that bullet point outline. 2, decode those command terms. 3, use your examples to analyze, don't just state facts. 4, build fluency with micro writing. And 5, get clear, critical feedback as early as you can. And look, if you take away only one thing today, please let it be this. You do not have to be a natural writer. You just have to be a clear thinker. Focus on organizing your ideas, and I promise the great writing will follow. You absolutely have the ability to do this. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. For your very next assignment, which one of these strategies are you going to focus on first? Is it going to be making that bullet point plan before you do anything else? Whatever it is, start there. You've got this.